Hey guys, it's Baban, and I've been watching Danganronpa and it's pretty good. So I wanted to draw a thing because the art's like it's nice, but there's a lot of same face in it. Like everyone's got the same face minus a few characters, and that got on my nerves. So I was like, I'll draw them and give them a bit more personality and like distinctive features than they have. Anyway, this is the finished thing, but I'm going to show you now the first sketch that I did, which is obviously really scritchy and scratchy, but I didn't record drawing this part of it because I think it took me a day to like figure out where I wanted everyone and what sort of composition I wanted it to have, and I'll show you now what I've used as pretty much a guide for the composition, just the spiral. And I add the crosshairs over it after, and that sort of focuses it a little bit more, but even from the base without putting that over everything, I've still got an idea in mind of where I want it all to be going, and you can sort of tell without that over the top anyway, but yeah, here we go. And I've started off from the cleanup sketch that I'm doing. I've only done one cleanup sketch on this one because the first sketch didn't look too bad and it wasn't too messy and everything was near enough in the right proportions. So I just needed to clean all the lines up, make everything a bit cleaner, define the features a bit more because I've just blocked them in really messy. I made Chiaki kind of chubby because, I don't know, I think she'd look cute chubby, and I don't know, all the girls in this seem to have the same face. At first I thought Teru was a girl, and I thought, wow, he looks really cute if you look at him as a girl, but no, he's a dude, and I was quite disappointed at that because, like I say, all the girls have pretty much got the same face and big tits, and I don't know, I just found that a bit disappointing to everyone looking the same. I went a bit wild with Nagito's hair because it's all like fluffy. Like, I wasn't looking at the reference too much. I was just having a load of fun with it and making it all swishy swooshy because I was like, oh, it looks swishy swooshy and weird. It doesn't look like actual hair, so I wanted to give it weird shapes. But yeah, it doesn't it doesn't really look anything like his actual hair, but I like it. And there was quite a lot of little bits on this where I had to change sizes of things because like everyone's head wasn't quite the same size and it didn't make sense, and you know, hands and stuff. And I had it quite a bit with the bodies as well because the first thing I was trying to do was stick all the heads in where I wanted them to be and then work the bodies around them, because obviously because they're all crammed in together the faces are more what the focus is. What I did have a lot of trouble with was drawing Monokuma. Like, I know he's only circles and stuff, but I don't know, it was difficult. It's like difficult to get his face to look right or to really stylize it. I don't know, I've drawn him before and he looked he had a bit more movement to him, but I didn't really manage to draw him that well in this, I don't think. And I'll make a comment on this again later, with the composition of how I've used the big spiral as the main idea of where everything's following through, and you follow the spiral round into the centre, which lines up with if you were to put a grid of thirds on it, sort of lines up in the bottom left third. But I've also used little things just to keep your eye on the page, like the way Mikan's hair's sort of swooshing round so you don't look into the corner, you sort of follow the curve of it from the right around to the left, which you're getting a good view of now, so you can actually see what's going on. I've done that on the other side with what's his face, Gundam, not Eridan, with hamsters. Mikan's hair was a pain in the ass to draw though, oh my god. I think I did have a bit of fun with it though. I made it more swooshy. Did anyone else like think Teru was a girl at first? He really does look like a girl. I don't know if it's like the hair. Yeah, it's probably the hair, isn't it? And hey, if anyone knows this red-headed girl's name, she's the only one I can't remember, and I'm usually proper shit at remembering names. But I've just about remembered like everyone's name here, apart from this girl. And I don't know why, so if anyone knows their name, put it in the comments so I can actually know everyone's name and not seem like an idiot. Yeah, she looks a bit, I don't know, she's like one of the boring looking bits of it because I didn't really do the angle of her head right. It looks too, it's too, like, perfectly to the side. Yeah, this is what I was talking about anyway with not Eridan and his hamsters. I've got a big old swoosh coming around at this side as well, so that it curves off the edges nicely, and I think I like curved his hand up a little bit as well, so it followed the spiral, and that's why I've still got the spiral over the top, even though I've planned out where I want everyone. It's still just adding tiny little things, like I've tilted his hand up there just to make it swirl around a bit more and point up to where Monokuma is. Because like even with the cleanup sketch, sometimes even if I were to do another cleanup sketch after this, I could still pick out things that I could change, and to still have guidelines of what you're trying to follow, or just to give you an idea in terms of where you want the composition to go and what you're going for. It's useful to still have them on separate layers. You can just flick on and off at the top to check that everything's still making sense, and you want to keep those really all the way through till you're finished, because even with the colouring and lighting, that is another big thing that will affect the composition. Another thing that I think I mentioned somewhere, I've noticed that you rarely get an anime girl without any bangs, without like any short hair at the front at all. I mean, Akane's sort of got not that much, but I don't know. If anyone knows of like many anime girls that have got their hair like all slicked back or anything, or they don't have any sort of fringe or hair in front of their face, tell me, because that's not something I've really seen at all. They've always got bangs of some description. Like, I don't know, is it cute or something? Do they think it's cute? Because all I can think is, oh, they're going to have really greasy foreheads because I've got a face like a chip pan, but yeah, I don't know, it's sort of the same with guys, but I've noticed with this, either like anime guys, they've either got sort of fluffy hair at the front, or if it is back, or if it's short, then the hairline's like halfway down the head, and I'm like, yo, what's the deal with that? Like, I can just imagine someone with like a hairy forehead. And it's proper weird, like especially on Kazuichi, on his like official art. It's like, it looks weird. And the bit I did of him looks weird because I've had to pull his hat back a bit so it's showing some of his hairline, but I've put his hairline in like a reasonable place. But it looks a bit silly because it's obviously compared to the official art of it. That's another thing. Like, high school kids, when they're like big muscly dudes that look like they're about 30. That's weird. I suppose, I don't know, is that like a trope? Because I know that's a thing with like JoJo. I should talk about the art. Yeah, I'm doing the swishy thing as well with the chain on his top. I don't know. That's another trope, innit? They all wear chains because they makes them look hard or something. And what's with them coats they wear? Are they like school coats or something? Is that what they're supposed to look like? Can someone tell me that as well? Because I don't know anything about anime or any of this kind of stuff. If anyone knows, please tell me, because I'm proper confused. Yeah, I think that's the most boring bit of it though, because I couldn't really cram everyone in that much. I probably should have moved Pecco around a bit so she was further down, then squished the top in so it wasn't as tall. Yeah, I filled a lot of it in with Ibuki's hair, you can see there, and that's also following the curve round as well. And with Kazuichi's hair just to make it... Oh my god, did you hear my tummy then? Just to make it all swish round and follow the curve a bit better. Talking of Pecco, does anyone else think she was a bit dumb? Like the thing she tried to do and then she got killed for it. That was dumb. That was really dumb. Like, the reasoning was really stupid. Okay, anyway, that's all of the sketch, and I did mess about with lighting on it, but I didn't really end up going with lighting. I sort of kept everything flat. And with those colours there, I was marking out where I wanted everyone to be in terms of different layers, like what overlaid where, so I could work out what layers to do everyone's line art on, because I didn't want to do it as one big flat thing. Anyway, yeah, I've sped the line art up a little bit more than I have the rest of it, because it's pretty boring. Once you've actually watched me do the drawing, it's a bit boring to watch me trace it all with the line art. But this bit's still a bit slow, I don't think I've sped it up yet. Monomi ended up looking okay. I think it's the foreshortening on that ear that did it. Made it look decent. I've started to like drawing clothing folds as well, which is good, I suppose, because most people hate them. Oh, and yeah, more swooshy stuff with what's his face's tie. Getting that to swoosh around and like almost point at Monokuma. Which is like a really easy way because it's already like going to a point in sort of an arrow, so you follow the shape of it. There's not really that much to say about line arting. By the time I actually did all this, I tried to keep the brush quite small, but I still wanted it to have a bit of weight to it. But by the time I did everything, because everything's so dense, it did look pretty messy, so afterwards I went and changed the colours of the line art in certain places and calmed it down from the straight up black. I just do it black at first so it's easy to see, but you'll see me changing the line art colours later. And even with line art, even when I've actually done the clean-up sketch, I'll end up sorting things out and fixing little bits as I go along with that as well, and that's just because I don't want to spend as long on the sketch, and you know, I don't think I need it to be 100% perfect. And like I say, as you clean stuff up, you do pick out more things that you can fix and just tweak a little bit to make it look better. So that's mostly with the clothing folds, because they can be pretty annoying to figure out, and little swooshy bits in the hair like that. I really like drawing eyes as well, though I should have given them a bit more, like, I didn't really give anyone sort of pointy eyes. I wanted to give someone pointy eyes and I didn't. That's something I need to have a bit of a mess about with. Like, I'll do loads of different shapes, but they usually look quite round. And pointy ones aren't usually something that I do. think I'm getting a little bit better at hair shapes though. I'm starting to be able to make hair look a bit more fluffy and a bit more bouncy. Moko ended up looking quite good though. She's such a little shit. I don't know, if anyone's into Danganronpa, then tell us who your fave is out of these, or off the first one, or whatever. Another thing for you to leave in the comments. Feel free to leave me like as many comments as stupid questions I ask, I don't mind. See, this is what I meant by it ended up looking quite messy, because all of Mikan's hair, just lines and lines and lines. And I calmed the nose lines down a bit. I've made them a bit thinner, and I've sort of pulled them around onto the cheeks as well. And I calmed them down by making them a, like, less dark line art colour afterwards. So they're not as obnoxious. I hate little details like that. Was a pain to do. Poofy hair. I give everyone a hoe gaze now. Or I still need to show you pictures of my hoe gaze. I've got two that stick up. I've got like a widow's peak hairline, and I got two little horns in the bits either side of little baby hairs, and they stick up like two horns. Proper funny. I'll have to take a picture sometime. I need some gel to make them proper, like, doing. Yeah, I'm starting to figure out how to do hair strands, like to make them look a bit better with line art, just to give it a bit more shape and flow. I might do a tutorial on that, because that's pretty much to do with the shape of it and how bits overlap with each other and knowing how much of it to actually show. I don't know, I'll have to think about that one. I'll write it down on my list of stuff to do, or tutorials to make. Sprout-faced boy. Sprout-faced boy is my fave. Shouty sprout-faced boy. He looks and acts like he needed a sprout face, so I give him like a little squidgy nose. Just to counteract the big kawaii eyes. I hate drawing glasses. They're a pain in the ass. Hands are fun though. That sounds proper stupid, doesn't it? I love drawing hands, but I can't draw glasses. So everyone remember, like, when they started doing art and they were like a little bab, and they'd draw someone and then they just put the arms behind the back or in the pockets or, you know, behind the head or something, so you didn't have to draw the hands. My cousins and that came up not long ago for like Christmas and that, New Year's and whatever, and we were drawing stuff and making silly little animations, and she was drawing like anime looking stuff, and she wasn't drawing the hands on and like putting them behind the person's back, and I was like, hey, I know what you're doing there, mate. And I totally winged it on the braids and that, but I figured out how to do them, which I'm proud of, because it actually looks like braids. Even though I had no idea how to draw them, it just happened, and it worked. Anyway, yeah, we're nearly done with the line art. I love drawing little stubbly beards on people. I need to draw those out. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to look at... Someone said there was a new Breath of the Wild trailer. I need to look at that. Draw more scruffy looking Link with his mullet hair. Pointy Kazuichi. Did he file his teeth down or something? Like, I don't know, it seems out of place that he's got pointy teeth. Or is it just to make you think he's, like, well-hard and not a big puss? Oh yeah, and that's me adding in little details of stuff I need to draw in before I forget, because I forget what to do otherwise, so it's good just to make a layer and put little notes on it. Oh, and here this is me doing colouring, or starting with the colouring, blocking in flats. And what I'm doing is looking at the reference picture, I'm taking the colours from that, and just blocking them in so I've got something, and then I go and change some of them later. Well, most of them. What I'm doing is looking for similar colours that I can, like, sort of put into one, so that I can have different parts of the picture that are similar colours be the same colour, so that everything works together a bit better, because the more colours you've got, the more of a mess it's going to make. If you can bring it down to fewer colours and bring them more towards like a base, like atmospheric kind of colour that you're going for, then it'll make everything look a bit better. So what I've done is pick certain colours that are the same and used them in multiple places and brought them closer towards the main colour that's going to be affecting all these colours. That's something else I want to do a tutorial on, so remind me of that if I don't say anything about it for like a couple of months. Yeah, I think changing the line art colour there. I went for a red background first, and then I was like, no, do it pink, because it doesn't really make any sense to have it red. Yeah, I'm just adding in some little details I've missed. Having issues with filling. Yeah, this is just me still blocking in colours. I think I changed a few of them. What I'm doing is eyedropping colours that I've got here now and picking ones that are similar and getting, like I said, one that's sort of an in-between. I've made all the reds the same colour, because I noticed with the designs, with most of them, all the colours were really muted, apart from the reds. The reds were the one thing that really stood out, so I thought, right, there's one red that's really, really bright, I'll use that for all the other reds. So all the reds are the same, the two browns I've used for hair are the same, I think. The blondish colour for Byakuya and Himoko's hair is the same. Anything black is the same colour as Ibuki's hair and Monokuma. And it just brings everything together a bit better instead of using like a couple of different blacks. It's like with colour palettes and stuff, you're only using so many colours and they work well together, instead of having to go and pick out something else and bringing more into it and making it more and more complicated. Seeing as it is only like flat colours and there's only going to be a bit of like overlays and stuff on it, it doesn't need to be too complicated with colours, because I'm not putting too much lighting in or trying to mix and blend stuff. adding in little details. I think I'm doing that on a separate layer in case I want to still go and select the flats to do anything with them. Okay, now I'm going and adding in different coloured line art. And what I did was I was turning the line art on and off because I thought, oh, it looks a bit strong at first. So I tried turning it on and off to see what it looked like without it, to check that all the colours look nice together. And what I noticed was it looked a bit better lineless, like without the line art on it, because the colours were standing out quite a bit from each other. So what I did was, in some places, I've turned the line art around the outsides the same colour as the thing that it is. So some of the edges of Nagito's hair are the same, like, white colour, so that there's not, like, extra lines and extra mess, making it more complicated. But that's only when the thing behind it still makes it stand out, like it's not the same tone or anything. And I added in a bit of shading onto the hair just to have it not look as flat. I didn't really do it on the clothes. I was gonna put a bit of a gradient on the clothes, like from the bottom upwards, but I decided not to. And I did the same with picking the colours to turn the line art. Like, they're all colours that are already in the picture. And even if they're not specifically from the character that I'm trying to change the line art for, it'll be from another character somewhere else in the picture. It's just a case of not going and picking a completely new colour. It's things that are already in the picture. I think I might have picked one different one for making the nose lines a bit lighter, but that's it. And that's only on a few characters. On the other ones I just picked some of the dark skin tones that are already there. And like I've said before, I haven't used any straight black apart from like pitch black, complete black. The only place I've used that is in the eyes and eyelashes, just to make them pop and stand out a bit more, because it gives you some more contrast. And yeah, there are certain parameters for where I am changing the line art, but it's a bit much to explain. That could be another tutorial if anyone wants it. Adding in little details. I think I'm going to go and add in the eyes in a minute. Oh no, I'm adding overlays in just to focus the light in a bit more, like darkening it around the edges, making it blue, because obviously blue and pinks go together, and the main colours of everything that they tend towards are pink, so I thought, oh, I'll make the edges blue to make it stand out a bit more. It's like with Ibuki, all the colours are pink and blue because they go together. And I'm adding in the eyes, which I'd normally put more detail in, but I thought they looked alright as they were. I didn't want to do crazy overly detailed anime eyes for it. Added a bit of shadows to the hair just to make them look shiny, and then I added shine over the top and over the eyes, because that's the most fun bit, doing all the little details at the end. I didn't go over the top with the hair shine either. I think I don't know, I don't really like the hair shine in the official arcs. It's just like one big swoosh across the front, and it doesn't really change depending on like the shape of the hair. It's just one solid curve, and I think that looks a bit weird, but whatever. Little details. I did forget some things. Place back the difference. If you can tell me what I forgot, I'll give you I don't know, a biscuit or something. Yeah, I think that's done anyway. I went and added, oh no, a few more little details. See, that's why you need your little notes thing, just to mark out where you need to add different stuff in, because otherwise you will forget and then you'll regret it later. And I'm adding a bit of texting because it looks good. I don't know, I like doing big clusterfuck fancy stuff like this. And they always look good with a bit of text on them. I guess it's like wallpapery looking stuff, I don't know. Postery, wallpapery looking stuff. And yeah, that's that finished. Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more stuff. I know this is a bit long, but you know, if you want to see the whole thing. I'll put a link to where you can buy prints of this on stuff on my Redbubble. I'll put links to all my other stuff and that. I mean, Twitter, DeviantArt, Tumblr, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I hope this helped you a bit. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.